Let's go. Yo. Get up, nah, I ain't a quitter. Toss me the ball, I'm a really big hitter. Big picture, I'm a straight killer. Rising the song to the highest bidder. Got juice, got gas, I'ma move fast. New shoes, new tracks, like who's that? I'm new, come back, better than last. Yeah, it's a new me, never gonna look back. Never gonna look back. Cause damn, I was built to last. You move slow and I move fast. And that's facts.
Welcome back, Bears fans, to another electrifying episode of Bears on Tracks, brought to you by the Chicago Sports Podcast. I'm your host with the most, Brandon Tracks Hiatt, and joining me, as always, is the ever opinionated Tony Two Takes. Tony, are you ready to break down the top 3 draft prospects that could redefine the Chicago Bears' future, brother?
Absolutely.
Yeah, man, I'm excited about it. So keep in mind, these are our top 3. These are the guys that get us excited, and this is going to be a lot of fun. But I'll tell you what, I feel like I'm like cheating on these guys, Tony, because we get excited. Last week, we roll some film on some guys from Michigan. Today, we're in Arizona State, and then we're in Iowa. I'm like, do we have any loyalty, man? Or are we just like here for the highest bidder? You know what I'm saying, Tone?
Well, it depends on how the draft falls, and I love all these guys.
I know, right? They got so much talent. They got so much going on, and like you said, the draft's upon us, and the Bears have some critical decisions to make, Tony. So let's dive deep into these prospects, man, and see what can bring the roar back to Chicago. So let's kick things off with a powerhouse guy. I know he's one of your faves, man. A guy named Skattabo from Arizona State. This guy's a game changer, Tony. In 2024, Skats racked up an astonishing 1,711 rushing yards on 293 carries, averaging 6 yards per carry, and punched in 21 touchdowns. Those are elite numbers, Tony, are they not?
They are elite numbers. There's no doubt about that.
Bro, look at that freaking forearm shiver, like straight to the jugular, man. And make no mistake about it. If I'm looking at this correctly, Tony, either this is like a wash because they're both kind of like jacking each other's jaws, or we got a little I don't know, man. We might have a little holding on that what do you call it up there? Face mask, man. What do you see there, bud?
It looks to me like he's getting face masked, and the offensive guy always gets the benefit of the doubt anyway. So as long as he doesn't grab that face mask and hold on to it, he can get his hands up there, but he just can't hold on.
Right. So he's good. He's jacking the jaw. He's doing a little, stiff arm, show you a little shiver there. So he's good to go. But the other guy, he's clearly in the wrong, dude. Flag on the play. But
I bet he still don't go down though.
I bet he still don't go down. Hey, what did you watch his highlight reel without me, Tony? Come on. Let's watch some highlight reels of this guy. He's ridiculous. Tony said, hey, man, if we're going to do something, let's do it with Skattabo. Talk about some explosive runs, breaking tackles, and showcasing his versatility. So stick around and enjoy the show, guys. Here we go. Wow.
Who is the running back, and he is immediately met in the backfield, runs through the contact,
oh man, it's like once he sees that end zone, Tony, he is not going down, bro. He's out running people, and people are asking what his 40 time is. I'm like, who cares? This guy flat out gets it. But no, his 40 time is like a 4. Oh, we're gonna pause it right there. That's the next guy on deck. Let's swap this out 1 second. Let's see here. Back over to this screen. All right. And we're back, folks. We're back on deck. Here we go. So, yeah, man, talk again about some explosive runs, Tony. Him breaking tackles, showcasing his versatility. What do you got to say about that, Tony?
Well, I'll tell you what caught my eye, and the thing I love most about him is, I've been around a while. I've been watching football since the 70s. And the thing I hate about these new kids nowadays is people run out of bounds too fast.
Oh my.
They're about to get hit, so they run out of bounds. This guy's old school, man. He puts his head down and he'll go get that extra 2-3 yards and then possibly break it. These guys nowadays, they hit the corner and they got a nice 20-yard run. They run out of bounds, but instead of stopping at a 20-yard run, hit the guy. I'm going to quote my favorite player of all time, Walter Payton. He once said, "You don't wait for them to hit you, you hit them. You hit them and they're going to feel it more than you do." So, this guy plays with that style. Love that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he looks to make initial contact, and I think sometimes when he doesn't have to, because obviously you see the burners, and he's got a football speed, okay? You got some track, you got some underwear Olympics, all that's fine and dandy. But once you put the shoulder pads on and you get somebody running after you, it's a whole different type of speed, folks. I'm telling you right now, when I played, in college and we did like practice and stuff, coaches would say play 60%, play 70%. I didn't know what the heck that was. Either I was riding the pine and sitting down waiting for defense to get off, or I was on offense and I was going 100 mile an hour, and whatever that means for an offensive lineman. But you know what I'm saying? Like, it's either all or nothing. It's just a weird place to be in. This guy, once you see that he has defenders coming in after him, he senses it and he takes off and he gets to another speed. So take that 40 time and throw it out the gosh darn window, because it is irrelevant. It helps out some, but right now, that's why we brought the tape in, so you guys could see what's going on with this guy, okay? Talk about, hey, and remember in the quarterfinals, the college football quarterfinals, dude was a legendary, man. And despite a bizarre sideline incident, he threw a 42-yard touchdown pass and scored 2 rushing touchdowns, accounting for 56% of Arizona State's total offense in that game. His toughness, his versatilities are exactly what the Bears backfield needs, Tony. Wouldn't you agree, bro?
Absolutely. And I'll tell you one thing too. This guy did all this when he basically was the offense. Everybody keyed on him because they knew he was getting the ball. Somehow he was going to be in the play, and that's hard when the whole defense is, 8 guys are coming after you,
Tony, name 2 players. Scratch that. Name one more player not named Skattabo on Arizona State. Name a guy on the offensive line, or 2 guys on the offensive line that's going to be drafted potentially at all.
Can't do it.
It's crazy. That's how you know how good this kid is, man. And
well, they had a lot of starters leave at the beginning of the year too. They had a lot of guys enter the transfer portal, and in fact, Skattebo had a bunch of people interested in him, but he wanted to stick around, and he said that's because he loved what the coach believed in. Bro. So he's got character too. He's not ready to abandon his team just to go for a better situation, which he very well could have.
Wow, dude, you know what? You're speaking the truth there. That's important. And I want to circle back on a guy we were talking about, and this is we're going off track with tracks, but Kenneth Grant. We were talking about him, okay? We just did a show with him last night. Listen, this kid is from where I go to work in Gary, Indiana. He played in Maryville. He's like 8 minutes away from my house where he played at the high school, right? This kid, guys, listen up. Go watch the tape. He plays the 1 and the 3 technique like nobody's business. 6'3", 343 pounds, whatever it is, but he's fast. He runs like a 5.02. This guy at 40, this guy is like a diehard long lifetime, and his whole entire family, Bear fans. You want to talk about what you're talking about earlier, and that's what reminded me of that, about having some dedication, some integrity, some not wanting to give up, not wanting to leave and stick around. That's what Kenneth Grant brings. That's what this guy brings. And when you told me that, I automatically was like, bro, I know he's not going to be, nobody's going to be picking up in the third. Maybe. And you know what? If they did, that's fine, because you know the intangibles. You know what he's going to do for your team. You know that he could potentially carry the rock 56% of the time and throw a touchdown. There's a lot of stuff that this kid can do. I don't think he'll need to do it because we've got enough weapons, bro. But if you go pick him up in the third round, I'm not going to be here and be like, pinky up. I'm the draft stooge that watch all these mocks, and this is, mocks for life. I'm saying if you really need this kid and you need his versatility in the third round, I'm cool with that. But they say potentially the fourth, the fifth, whatever. I say pull the trigger, Tony. And quite honestly, I wouldn't be mad if somehow they ended up with two guys in the draft or one undrafted free agent right after the draft, if you know what I'm saying, where they go automatically hurry up and, pick guys up and sign them. I mean, that's, this guy's obviously going to get signed, but you know what I'm saying? Like, if you're going to go get a second running back, there's a possibility of that too, because this draft is deep and we're going to get ready to talk and move forward into another running back. Is there anything that you'd like to add before we move on to the next chapter, Tony?
I do. So Skattabo, what I was doing a lot of watching of the mock drafts and looking at some of the analysts, what they were writing. I've read a couple places that some people think he may even go late in the second round, possibly the third round. So it wouldn't surprise me to see him gone. I mean, if we wait till, first of all, we don't have a fourth round pick, and I guarantee you he won't be there in the fifth round. So if they want to get him, if they don't take him in the third round, then if he even falls to us in the third round, they're going to lose him. And let me throw one thing at you. And you know how big of a Walter Payton fan I've been my whole life. Grew up watching him. And believe me, I don't put him in the same class with Walter Payton. I don't put anybody in the same class with Walter Payton. But I want you to look at something. Who didn't run out of bounds when he played? Who had a great stiff arm when he played? Who ran people over when he played? Who knew how to throw the ball when he played, and who didn't have an offensive line for the first half of his career when he played? Remind you of somebody?
This guy right here.
There you go, man. So believe me, I'm not saying Skattabo's there, but I think that's why I'm so partial to him, is because his style is old school, and I love it.
Yeah, I do too, man. I figured, and I understood, more when I watched this tape, exactly what you're talking about. Because I'll be honest, man, just like the guy that Jim Miller talked about out of Delaware, Marcus Yarns, I didn't pay no attention to Delaware football. And I'll be honest with you, I think I might have known that they had a team, but I'm also wouldn't be surprised if I didn't know that they didn't have a football team. I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. I knew Arizona State had a football team. I just didn't know that there was a guy on there that can run through a freaking brick wall like freaking the Kool-Aid man, So, but dude, honestly, this guy, he excites me too. And I'll tell you what, let's take a look at him really quick. This guy right here, Caleb Johnson. You want to talk about a marriage, Caleb Williams' first name, spelled wrong though, with a K, but hey, if he runs the rock like he did in Iowa for the Chicago Bears, he could spell it any way he wants. And his last name, Johnson, oh my. Problem is, he ain't wearing that number 2. That's already working for with TJ.
How does 22 look?
Hey, there you go, 22. Okay, I see what you just did there. No, but this guy right here, let's talk about him really quick, if you don't mind. Shout out to Brandon Duplessis in the chat, my forever co-host, man, our forever co-host. Moving right along to the Midwest powerhouse, man. Let's talk about Caleb Johnson. Wow, the dynamic running back from Iowa, standing at 6 feet, weighing 225 pounds, a little bit bigger. Johnson is a force to be reckoned with, folks. In 2024, he led the Big Ten with 1,537 rushing yards on 240 carries. averaging a stellar over almost 6.5 yards per carry. And he matched Skattebo with 21 touchdowns. This guy is a dog, man. He is redunculous. So really quick, let's go check out that film. Okay. The tape never lies. Here we go. I'm hoping it's on pause right now because I have a feeling it reset when I paused in the middle, but hopefully this works out. Let's see. There we go. Oh. Did we catch it? Man, he just
behind him. Second down and goal. They pitch it left side. Skattabo makes one miss.
Get a little extra coverage of Skattebo right here. That's all right. We don't mind it. This guy, Caleb Johnson. Look at that guy. Look at that speed. Woo! He goes. Oh man. Dude, he sees that. He's got that vision, Tony. Oh man. I'm getting excited. Not lying. Look at that. Bruh.
We'll get the call. Caleb, big opening on the outside. Caleb Johnson.
Yeah. Let's go. Yeah, he's got another what do you call it? Another motor right there for sure.
He hits in that second, third gear.
Yeah. Man. Not as good on the sideline as Skattebo, but there's a lot here that I like, man. Man, he's really good at looking at those holes, man. He's got good vision. Look at this. This is one of my favorites. Oh my. Wow. Look at that. Nice. Wow. He almost went down. Turned it into a touchdown.
When he gets to the edge. Not there, it's not there. He bounced one tackle, two tackle, three tackles.
Wow.
Johnson using it blocking. Johnson finds the space. Touchdown. Wider at the point of attack. It's the same side run. So it looks like
Man, look at that misdirection. I love it. That guy did the best he could to help him block, but he didn't need him. He ran out covered, man. Oh, I love that. That was a good play right there. Man, this dude's got wheels, Tony.
Yes, he does.
Oh, little stiff arm, baby. Little spin music. Man, this soundtrack's terrible. I'm never doing that again. I know how to fix this. Oh, God. Sorry about that, folks. Tracks is going to get better with his dubbing. Wow. Matter of fact, I'm just going to cut this off. I'm cutting the sound off. I can't take it no more. That's bad when you have to cut your own sound off. So, yeah, I mean, for me, the first thing that stands out is his vision and his willingness to continue the play and not give up the whole time. And I mean, back to what you said about Skattebo. Everybody is game planning for this guy. You're putting 8-man in the box. Everybody's looking for him. Their offense was atrocious. We got their punter from, last year. And I tell you what, that was the highlight of their offense, man. You want to know the highlight of their offense this year was this guy right here, Caleb.
No doubt.
This guy is redunculous, man. And I would put him a little bit above Skattebo. I would not be mad if we picked him up in the second. I don't know about the first. I mean, if you have conviction with this guy and he's really your guy, I'm not mad at it either way. I think a lot of people, get tripped up on that, So, man, this is great stuff. I love looking at it on the goal line because, Tony, sometimes you get those backs and they just can't finish. But this guy, he can finish at the goal line.
Well, I'll tell you, you just said it not long ago, but everybody knows that when you play Iowa, you have to stop the run. That's it. No, they're not throwing the ball, and everybody knows it.
Yeah. I agree, Tony. I agree.
Man. They play defense and they run the ball. That's what Iowa does.
Yep. And they throw it to a guy that we're going to have next on deck here in a little bit. So let's go ahead and pause it right there. Okay. Because we learned from last time it didn't work out too well. So anyways, let's get back to it, man. Let's get back to it. Tony, 2 takes. Here's the deal. He contributed significantly in the receiving department too, Tony. He added 300 receiving yards to his impressive stats. Plus, he had 4.2 yards after contact, demonstrating his ability to fight for extra yards, something the Bears desperately need in short yardage, Tony. And here's the deal. I want to shift gears, unless you've got one more thing to say about this gentleman, over to tight end university. We're going to stay right here. I think this guy goes later on in the draft, if I'm not mistaken, 5th, 6th, 7th round. Just depends on, how the tight ends, there's like a trend, and everybody starts picking up a, position. And now next thing you know, the tight ends are going off the board. So I'll leave room for that. It's going to be in the later rounds or whatever. But this guy right here, Luke.
Yeah, let me talk about Caleb Johnson a little bit.
All right.
Thing I like about him, it's a different style than Skattebo. Skattebo hits these guys, runs them over, won't run out of bounds, whatever. This guy, what I love about him is that he hits the hole so fast. And it's not even that he's fast and can outrun them. He hits it quick. Like he knows where he goes, and he hits that hole so fast, because some of those replays you can see that doesn't look like there's much of a hole, and he goes through it, but he's not touched much. You know, I mean, he's just so fast. That's why I think he's good in the passing game too, because get him out in the open and he's gone.
Exactly.
This guy can make some plays, and the one thing that I don't know if they would change that in the NFL, but he reminds me of somebody, another great player, another Hall of Famer. The style that he runs, reminds me a little bit of Eric Dickerson. He stands up tall. He hits that hole fast. I love his style. He's just a different style. He can block, which is good, because I think any of these guys that Ben Johnson's going to draft have to know how to block.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what he said about the receivers. I'm pretty sure that the same rule applies for the running backs and the offensive linemen. The offensive linemen, they don't get the rock, but if you don't block,
not Ben Johnson's offense.
Yeah.
Look at a couple Detroit Lion offensive linemen. They've scored touchdowns.
Well, yeah,
I know what you're saying. I'm just saying that Ben Johnson likes to trick people up, and anybody can get the ball. Play hard, and you may get the ball.
Listen, I won a scratch off ticket a while back, and it's been a while since I freaking broke a cherry over there, and won a big scratch. But yeah, you're right. You will. Hey, be ready. Anytime you're going to get that number. Listen, some guys don't want it either. They're like, I'm good, coach. Give it to some other. I'm the lineman. Okay, this is what I do. So get cute with somebody else. But yeah, dude. So moving right along, this is something that I have to call myself out on, and I do this a lot. Luke Lachey. I kept saying his name wrong like all season long. I kept calling him Lachey because it's Lachey. And then I started watching tape on him. And then I, watched a couple, and I'm like, who's this Lachey? I'm like, the Lackey's 85. What am I watching a year before? What's going on here? And I'm like, oh, dummy, you've been saying his name wrong forever. So, but dude, talk about an aerial attack and, the focus on Lachey, the towering tight end from Iowa, 6'6", 250 pounds. Lachey is a matchup nightmare for defenses. In 2024, he hauled in 28 receptions for 231 yards, averaging 8.3 yards per catch. I mean, it would have been a lot more, but dadgummit, they don't have that good of an offense. And if they would have been paying attention, this guy should have got the rock a lot more. And we know what that's all about because we've seen mismanagement at its finest, right, Tone?
That's for sure. And you know what? It's not like Iowa's not known for having quarterbacks that can get them the ball.
Yeah.
So, I mean, their forte is running the ball. And yes, they occasionally throw it downfield a little bit. And this guy's numbers aren't as, like he had, 28 catches last year, which doesn't jump off the charts for you. But there's more to this guy. He blocks. And, I think that the Bears will look at him because he can block and catch the rock. So he's a guy, Ben Johnson likes to use 2 tight ends in their system, at least 2. They just signed that kid from Miami.
Yeah.
And this guy, and we know with injuries, all 3 of them are going to play regardless of injury because, they'll rotate in and out occasionally. But yeah, I like this guy. Unfortunately, once again, we don't have a 4th round pick, and I don't see this guy going until at least the 4th round, but I'm guessing that it's going to be somewhere between the 5th and the 7th round. And if we can take a flyer on this guy, I would not have a problem with that at all.
That's fair. And I'm not going to argue with you over about semantics because some people look at mock drafts and listen, that's like playing with Monopoly and saying you got $100 on hand. Okay, go try using that at the damn store and see what it buys you. If you walk out with the product and you freaking leave 100 of Monopoly money, you're probably going to get Billy clubbed and thrown in the back of a squad car because that money's not real and neither is mock drafts. And at the end of the day, it does not even matter. It doesn't matter a hill of beans. At the end of the day, it's crazy how far off a lot of these yo-yos are. But it's fun in, January, February, March. But come April, come a couple days before April, it's time to make sure that we realize that you have to watch the trends. If you start to see 1 or 2 tight ends come off of it, hey, and listen, if this guy scratches some boxes and they only have a few picks and this guy is like somebody that they're advocating for, they're going to go get him earlier than you thought. And guess what? It's okay. It's okay. Okay. So, but
your critics are always going to, they're always going to have something to say when somebody takes a player early. Like, let's look at Jamar Gibbs last year. Everybody ripped them for taking him 12th overall. Oh, that's way too early for them to take him. But guess what? He fit right into Ben Johnson's offense. Yep. He knows what kind of players he wants. So, even the Bears last year, the Bears jumped up and got that punter in the 4th round. Everybody criticized him. You don't take a punter in the 4th round. But a lot of teams would have taken him before the Bears had their next pick. So they don't get him in the 4th round. We don't get him.
And maybe he's playing with a couple teammates this year. Maybe we get a trifecta in the building. Who knows? Who knows? I would rather have Skattabo later on because there's just so many needs. Not saying I wouldn't like Caleb, but there's just so many darn needs that we can wait a little bit later to go get Skattabo, man. And I'll tell you what, that guy is electric. That guy is amazing. He's going to listen to me. He's going to make blockers. He's going to make people that don't want to block. There are going to be people that are like, I'm going to hurry up and get this block over with. And I'm going to make sure that this guy gets down the field. But then, hold on a second, Tony. Do you let a guy through just so you could see him freaking punch someone in the mouth? Because
maybe if you're up by 21 or something.
Yeah, it's like there's like something going on there. It's like, oh, do I let my boy have at him or what? I can make this easy on him or I could enjoy the show, So, but dude, he's so cool. And I'm glad that you said, hey, Tracks, we got to do something with him. Really quick, before we show Caleb Johnson's highlight reel, we want to take care of some business. And we are going to go ahead and talk about our new sponsor, because right now is the best time to get in and make some bets, guys. You got MLB kicking off. The Sox are surprising a lot of people right now out the gate. The Cubs, they're who we thought they were. They're going to play 500. They might, surprise you a little bit here or there or whatever. But, and talk about the hot bats over in New York. Oh my. But listen, you still got the NCAA. You got the March Madness. Everything is on the line, and there's a lot of fun that can be had on Wanna Parlay app. I love this app about doing parlays. Let's go ahead and play the video really quick, man. It's a good one. The other side with Darius, we got some good stuff we want to ask him, continue on that question if he's disappointed about anything. But first, ladies and gentlemen, we want to bring to you our new proud sponsor, Wanna Parlay. These guys have been on this app and they are smoking it, man. They're having a good time. John, Darius, they love it, man. They get in there. It's only $2 to get in for a shot at taking home some huge cash bags. So listen up, guys. It's tournament time, and the new daily fantasy sports app we just found out about with the absolute largest payouts on parlays is called Wanna Parlay. WANNA, Wanna Parlay. I downloaded the Wanna Parlay app on my phone, and it's so much fun, guys. You can compete against me, Darius, Sean. I wouldn't recommend those guys, though. Come get me. Come take my money. Chicago Sports Podcast listeners, guys, to see who can combine a few picks and build the best parlay. They've even got a chat feature where we can trash talk and brag, and in the letterboard, it's got all our picks ranked, and everyone can see it. So if you stink like I do, you're really going to hear about it. But like I said, it's just $2 for a shot of taking home a huge cash prize. It's a blast. It's so simple to use. And there are new basketball, hockey, baseball, and combat sport contests every single week. Again, the best part, it's only $2. I want my $2 to enter a parlay into a contest. Plus, there's always a free-to-play games too. It makes watching the craziness of the tournament and all sports so much more fun. Here's what you should do, guys. Just download the Wanna Play app. Click around. If you decide to upload money to play and get into action, use promo code CAPBLOCKS, TRACKS, for 100% deposit match for up to $250. Put in $20. They'll give you 20 more. How about that? So download the Wanna Parlay app, use promo code TRACKS, and let's play the world's richest parlay today. Must be 18 or older to play. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER today. That is our new friends, Wanna Parlay. Man, I'll tell you what, it's a lot of fun. I love being in there with the trash talk, the smack board and all that stuff. And I mean, it really helps you get dialed in. And you could put $2 down and win up to $2,000 off of a pool that it's against everybody else. And then if you want to play against the house, that's a whole different ball game. And we've already won a few times. I think we got like 20 of the members in there. Some guys have got some really good wins just off of $2 or $10. The cool thing is they don't wait for $250 and then they refund you. What they do is if you put $10 in, they'll match your $5. So really a $10 bet is only $5. It's really cool, and you'll see it fall off. It's only $5. So all right, now here's some fun. Let's get into this Luke Lachey. Man, look at that catch. Jump ball. Oh, man. Breaking tackles. Finding the end zone. I love it. Oh, man. I guess another thing. You're not wearing 85 over here, pal. Okay? Telling you right now. That's already spoken for.
Colorado after Petrus went out earlier injured. Fires a fastball and a good fastball. Going right back to the fan. TJ Hawkinson, Dallas Clark. You play tight end.
Now, Makamara, he came from Michigan, right, bro?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he left when McCarthy won the starting job, basically.
Gotcha. Didn't take much. Man, look at that effort, man. I love him. Let's get him. I mean, you can get a tight end this good late. Let's game plan for it, right? Shout out to everyone in the chat. Make sure you hit that like button. If you like this guy and you want to see him on the Chicago Bears, leave it in the comments below. Hit that like button. Let us know what you guys want to do, man. You guys want this guy? You want Lachey on the team? I think we need a lot of tight ends, Tony. You touched on it earlier. You got to have – you can never have enough tight ends with Ben Johnson.
That's true. He led the league last year in 2 tight end sets. 31% of the offensive plays from the Lions, they used 2 tight ends.
Wow. That's a lot.
That's the most in the NFL.
Wow. I mean, his blocking skills are top notch too, man. It basically it makes him both passing and running game dual threat type guy. I like it. We need that. End zone, baby. In a bowl. Coming up big in a bowl, baby. Didn't even know they knew where a bowl was at in Iowa. Duke Slater Field. Eric goes there all the time. Tailgates and stuff. Drinks his wine coolers and Zimas. You remember Zimas, Tony?
Unfortunately, yes, I do. Now I'm showing you my age.
Oh man, I love this guy, man. Talk about a stud over there, dude. Yep, for sure. Good freaking football player right there, man. How about it, Tony? What do you think about? What do you think about Lachey, man? Could you see him on our team, bro?
Oh, absolutely. Like I said, though, I think we have too many needs to go in the top 3 rounds anywhere.
Right.
We're going to have to go get a running back with one of those picks. We got to get an offensive lineman, maybe another defensive lineman. But if he falls down a little bit, absolutely, I can see it. And the only reason why I say that they wouldn't jump early on anything is it's kind of a luxury now. We do have 2 good tight ends right now. Yeah. We can pick up another one as an undrafted free agent or even late in the draft. So more of a luxury pick,
Yeah. I wouldn't mind a third one that basically is competing with number 2, but could elevate to number 1, because if one guy goes down and if you're running 2 tight end sets like that, you definitely going to need a guy in the building to, facilitate that. You don't want a guy that's a significant drop off. I think that's important. I could see this guy checking, but like you said, let's take care of this later. But Bears fans, these are the kind of players that make immediate impact and help propel Chicago back into playoff contention, man. I'm telling you right now, guys like Cam Skattabo, his versatility, okay? Guys like Caleb Johnson's power and agility, and not to mention Luke Lachey's all-around skill set are exactly what the Bears need to dominate the NFC North and to take it back and never give it back. Tony, could you agree with that assessment? Do you think that that's important, that although we need to go out and get guys like this and shore up the offensive line and defensive line rightfully, respectively, so there's still some guys out there and these guys could potentially be the guy? I mean, honestly, especially at the running back position, I'm not okay with handing the keys over to Swift and saying it's all yours, bro. I think he needs some help.
I agree. And because Swift, I think, would be a great number 2 running back, but
Yeah.
we need somebody to step in and be that number 1 guy. So yeah, I would love to see them go out and get these guys. And we got to remember too, every player in Ben Johnson's offense has to be a decent blocker. So obviously, Bears go get these guys. They're good blockers, and the other thing too is their football IQ. I mean, there's a lot to be said on guys learning the system and that football IQ when you have a complicated or a well-designed offense, you need to be smart in that department.
I like it, Tony. That's exactly what I'm talking about. You touched on something that's really important, and that's smart. Doing the same play, but disguising it and making it look different. What does that mean? That's attention to detail, folks. If you're doing the same play, but it looks different, that's attention to detail. You are freaking really sharpening your iron and making your craft like you're excelling at your level when you do stuff like that. And that's what Ben does. He makes everybody around him better, man. And I love about this, man. The front office needs to make these prospects a priority come draft day. The future is now, guys, and these players could be the cornerstone of of a new era in Chicago Bears football. So let's give a shout out to everyone in the chat really quickly. There's a few out here. Shout out to Foster. What's up?
Even though, Foster, you want a long snapper at number 10, we're still going to shout out to you. I mean, that better be the best long snapper to ever play the game.
Ever. Well, hey, honestly, he actually has a hidden joke there because who was a long snapper for us? Cole Kmet. And there
he was the emergency guy, but he was.
And there is a tight end available in Tyler Warren who not only can run the rock, he can block for the rock, he can catch for the rock, and he could throw for the rock. I wouldn't be surprised if he couldn't long snap that rock. So, as always, I love it, man. I love watching you on the show. Seasoned veteran that you are. I'm pretty sure you're the elder statesman in every building. Hope everyone is well. Foster says, Jay Griss, he says, you don't take a punter with the 4th pick when you have a glaring need at running back and Bucky Irving goes to Tampa right after you draft that punter. Listen, hindsight's always 20/20, and I don't even know if Bucky knew he was going to be bucking that well when he came into the NFL, but shout out to Tampa getting it right, going and getting Bucky Irving for sure. But I like our punter. I think it's important, and I think he's going to be around for a long time, and I'm going to enjoy watching him. But I don't know. I think Caleb said a little bit early, kind of like when Ryan Poles says we're going to take the North and never give it back. I think Caleb said it a little bit early. He didn't have enough around him, and he wasn't as seasoned as he could be. But eventually, he's speaking it into fruition. It will happen, I believe. At least that's my take on all that, man. And Jay Griss says, I respectfully disagree, Tony. That's all right, Tony. You can't please everybody, bud. Phil says 1 more month and counting. We're going from the back up this time. We're trying something different. Phil says bear down, boys. Dustin says Matt Miller's newest 7th round. Here we go again. Back to the mock drafts. Drafting Lachey in the 7th. Yeah, we could see that. Maybe a little early. Maybe definitely he's going to get drafted because after the 7th round, you're undrafted. And there's no way that's happening. Honestly, if I have like a 6th round pick, I might not allow him to go to the 7th because that's the bottom of the barrel. And well, I'm worried that somebody else will get him. I might even go get him in the 5th at that point, but I'm glad I'm not a GM at all. Jay Griss says Iowa, because honestly, who thought we were going to get a punter in the 4th? And he ended up being a starter. He was a starter on the team. That's pretty cool. When you go draft a guy and he's a starter in the 4th, that's pretty special. Not all teams could say that, but he will be a starter for the next 3 years and maybe even further on down the road too, man. That guy is something special, dude. He has like one of those freaking drones on his freaking foot or something, where that ball, he just puts it wherever he wants it, Tony. It's freaking crazy, dude. It's crazy, bro.
Hey, I wanna take a shout out there to Jay Grizz. Hey,
Yeah.
Jay Grizz. So I read Iowa O-line created some big holes for Caleb Johnson. You know, I thought the same thing when I started watching a lot of his highlights. You're absolutely right. I'm like, this guy's good, but I mean, he's got some huge holes to run through. Then you start watch it a little bit more, man. He hits those holes so fast. I mean, it's like those holes open up, and you're absolutely right. Some of them are some big holes, but he hits them so fast and gets through. So, I mean, good or bad, I mean, I have the same kind of holdback as you do because they are big holes. But you also got to take into consideration that he hits those holes fast and doesn't hesitate.
And he's smart with those misdirections, and there was a lot of them. Listen, if you don't know your ball, if you don't know your holes, if you don't know where the play is going, that misdirection can blow up on you. They can blow up on you. And this kid flat out gets it. I guarantee he made those plays look better than they did. And when it's over and those holes are there, you saw him get away from defenders in the second, in the third level. It doesn't just end on the line. He takes it down that much further. And I mean, when you saw the sideline, end zone, all that kind of stuff, he scrapped for the yards, man. I like this kid. I like this kid a lot. But like I said, make no mistake about it. I think if our team was a little bit further along, I would want to go ahead and say Caleb. But right now, I'm saying Skattabo because there's a lot of stuff that we need to take care of before we go get that running back. And I'm okay with getting Skattabo that late because honestly, I love the tape, man. I love the tape.
Romy, you're right. I see Romy rather have Scat. I'm with you, man. But Brandon knows I love this guy. You know, I like Caleb, and I think he will help the team. But love to see Scat in the Bear uniform.
Hey, you know what? Here's to Jay Grizz's point. I think running backs make offensive linemen look better, and offensive linemen make running backs look better, and coaches help out with that too. He's going to a pretty damn good team that's going to have a pretty damn good offensive line and a pretty damn good coach. I think it's a good fit. I think it's a good fit. So why would you buck that? Why would you not want that? I would want that. I would want a guy that fits well with a good offensive line and fits well with a good coach because listen, if you've had the opposite, you might not know how to act in that space. And this guy, he will act right in this space. I think he'll do good. And that's why we highlighted him. And I wouldn't be surprised. Listen, I wouldn't be surprised, not to throw everybody off, that if we didn't get either of these guys at all, because honestly, there's a lot of times when the Bears go out and get guys that I had no idea, and they weren't even on the boards, and we're all sitting there like fans, like, what the hell? Well, Matt Miller and, so-and-so Schmo, all these guys that, run these mock drafts, and when Tracks ran it, they didn't even have this guy over there for the Bears to go take, So, I mean, dude, honestly, they pivot for a reason, man. And a lot of this stuff is all conjecture. We don't know. It's just all a bunch of like, who's doing what, type things. We have no idea. He worries about Johnson's product. Brandon Duplessis says 66 forced missed tackles. Wow. That's pretty cool. I like that. More missed tackles. That's pretty important, man. Dustin says, what's up, fellas? Bear down. Brandon says, I'd rather the Bears draft wide receiver Jordan Tyson out of Arizona State. Well, hey, listen, this guy actually knows another guy that's not named Skattabo on Arizona State. Shout out to him for freaking come up with another name. There you go. And honestly, he's not wrong. I'm comfortable right now with the receivers that we got in the building. I like these guys, and I think they're good compliments to Adunze and DJ Moore, but he's not wrong for wanting to go out and draft a wide receiver too. I think that does help. But to be honest with you, I think our receiver room with 4 guys is a lot more stacked than our running backs with maybe one, because one guy didn't even make it through the freaking, preseason before the camps. He ended up, Ian, he ended up getting freaking injured, right? He was the guy on Hard Knocks that everybody liked.
Yeah.
We don't even know what he can do yet. We really like him, That's all.
I'm a little worried about Roshan Johnson too. I mean, he's had the concussion problem, wearing that the guardian cap, and he's a running back. Running backs put their head down, and he's going to get hit. So hate having a guy that might be tentative back there.
Yeah. Yeah, Jay Grizz makes up a good point. Look at how many teams in the NFL passed up on Cooper DeJean. We are so enamored by the Bears giving up and not going out and drafting a guy in Cooper. But at the end of the day, there was a lot of other teams that took him. I think the Eagles picked him up, and he did a damn good job, man. He played good football. But getting back to Bears football, this draft is loaded with running backs, Foster says. I agree, man. So many freaking running backs, right? Crazy. Dustin says crab cakes and football. That's what Maryland does.
Wedding crashers.
Yeah. Jay Grizz says Iowa is O-line university, essentially, and those are some huge holes Johnson has to run through. Yep. Hey, but you know what? Riddle me this. Let's see how many guys, and I can't even think of many that are going to be in the draft this year. Can you?
No, I can name off a handful, and I just want to make a comment with Jay Grizz. You're absolutely right, but I'll tell you, there's a guy out there that has the most rushing yards of any running back in his career that made a living out of hitting holes. Emmitt Smith. That guy, you could drive a truck through some of them holes that he ran through. So hopefully whoever we draft will have big holes to run through as well.
Yeah. I want to go back to this. Who are the offensive linemen for Iowa that's going into the draft? I really would like to know. Anybody in the chat, not just Tony. I'm not putting Tony on the chat. Name one guy in there, and is he going to get picked in the first round, second round, third round, fourth round? I want to know. I cannot think of one. One.
This is definitely not a great draft for offensive linemen to begin with. Once you get rid of the first couple, then I think it drops off pretty good. So I doubt there's one out there.
But we know their names, and there's a lot of depth on interior offensive line, including centers. I cannot think of them. And honestly, it is what it is at this point with all of that. But I just wanted to make a point because I could think of some other. Ohio State, we could think of a few. Alabama, we could think of a few. Georgia, come on. Let's be honest. Let's keep it real. If they're that good, bring out their names right now, because honestly, Jay Grizz, I don't see it coming from you. I don't see it coming from anybody. And I'm a little embarrassed that I don't, because I watch it with my buddy Eric all the time. He is an Iowa fan. He graduated from Iowa. He grew up in Iowa, and all that stuff. And I'll be honest, if I called him right now, he wouldn't even be able to come up with any of those guys at all. So do they block well? Good. Yes. Are their coaches good? Yes. Is their running back fantastic? You're damn right. And that's why we know his name instead of those offensive linemen. So, but yeah, let's get back to the chat again, getting back to Brandon. We're going to have to look at this guy, Jordan Tyson, another day. I'm excited to hear what's going on with this guy. Anthony says, check out his tape. Let's get into it. Anthony says, draft Rashard Smith of SMU. He can play wide receiver and running back. That's interesting. I like that, Tony. When you got a guy that can play multiple positions, don't you, Tony?
Absolutely. I mean, and that fits right into Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson likes to mix things up, keep people on their toes. So if you have a talented athlete that can do both, play both positions, that opens up the playbook a little more.
Darius Morgan, shout out to Darius. He says, I'm starting to like Omarion Hampton for us. I did too. I think about a week ago, maybe a little bit over a week ago, I watched or I played a highlight reel of him. Go back and look at that, please, Darius Morgan. Not sure if you're a subscriber. You might have fell through the cracks, but I appreciate you liking the show. Make sure you subscribe, please, man. Appreciate your comment also, brother.
I think Omarion Hampton,
I like him.
If we were able to drop back a little in the draft, and I think 10 would be a little early to take him, and he ain't going to be there at number 39. So I could see them possibly trading back a few spots, staying in the teens somewhere, and maybe going to get Hampton.
Yeah,
and I would be good with that.
That's a good point. You want to make sure that it's significant, though, because if you go 1 for 1, if you go from 10 to 11, let's say the Niners are right behind us, you're only going to get a 4th rounder. So you got to go back, probably 10 picks. Go from like, you know what I'm saying? Go from like 10 to 20. Then you could start to look at possibly like at least a 3rd rounder and make it worth it. You know what I'm saying, Tony? But I agree with you, man. Let's get him later. Yeah, let's get him later if we can. Let's see what happens. Let's see what Poles and Ian Cunningham can cook. Let's see what they come up with for sure. Hopefully that's about to change soon, though. Jay Grizz says a lot of comments from Jay Grizz today. Yep, same old Cubs, but they're no worse than the Bears, Blackhawks, and Shy Sox. Oh man. I think the Sox,
that hurts.
I think the Sox are doing all right now. I mean, they actually surprised me, man. They're doing pretty
They're
good.
1-2. They only won 1 game, but that's probably one more game than a lot of people are thinking they were going to win by now. So
they're hanging in there.
Yeah, they could surprise, but I don't expect them to do anything this year as well.
Look at the score today. They lost 3-2, man. They're hanging in there, and then when they won, they won by a lot. They beat them 8-1. That was pretty fantastic. And not to mention the game before that. I mean, it didn't count, but they beat up on the Athletics pretty good, 8-5. So they got a little something over there. They're making it exciting, that's for sure. So 1-2 is not terrible. I was expecting 0-3, but I mean, half full right now. I'm excited to see what the Bears have got. I mean, listen, they can't win any games right now. All they can do is go draft some really cool coaches and go out in the free agency and make some trades. And I don't know what else you want for them, Jay Grizz. I really don't. I think they're doing pretty solid, if you ask me.
Well, I'll tell you what. You know what? It's okay to get excited about the offseason. Listen, I've been a Bear fan a long time, and I did get to enjoy some of their great years. But as of late, they haven't been great. But it's okay to get excited at this time of year. So let's keep up that positive attitude.
Yeah, well, absolutely. They're giving us something because look, there's the other side of it. What if they weren't being proactive? What if they didn't go out and get Ben Johnson? There would be at. We're just going to beat ourselves up just to beat each other, beat ourselves up, or are we going to actually enjoy the moment and savor something that we actually did? Because if we didn't, the other side of that is beat ourselves up for the right reasons. But they've been doing really good. Offensive side, defensive side, coaches. I mean, dude, what do you want? You want them to walk on water? You want them to be perfect, Jay Grizz? I mean, dude, seriously. They've been killing it to the point of the Detroit Lions. They got some key players, some top-notch players over there that have a podcast. And these guys are like, really? Where did they get all this money? They're making all the moves and we're not making any of the moves. When you have guys that are outwardly saying that on podcasts for everybody and their mama to hear, that says a lot about what's going on. And make no mistake about it, we're making the headlines and nobody's talking the way you are, Jay Gribbs. Sorry, bud, but let's stay positive about it, okay? I understand what's going on with the Cubs right now. I get that. I understand a little bit about the Sox, but it's still early on those two. But actually, they've won a game each, so I'm all right with with them. So,
well, also, I'll tell you another thing why we should get excited about this Bears team.
2 games.
Our reputation is that we cannot develop players, right? I mean, I said this on the last show, but we got a phenomenal coaching staff. And I'm telling you, you might be surprised at some of these guys that we've already penciled in to be busts, or, they didn't hit with what we picked up. They can turn into something this year. So not only did we make some good moves this year, we got a very creative offensive mind now, and we got a good defensive mind, and we got guys that actually can develop some players, man. I'm trying not to, because they've let me down so many times, but it's hard not to be excited about this team right now.
Absolutely. Yeah, I would too, man. I'm excited. So that's why I brought highlight rules to you guys instead of follies. Like, well, we're probably going to draft this bum. Let's watch all of his all these fumbles. This is exactly right here why the Bears would go after this guy, And honestly, that punter that you're downing, I promise you there's a freaking highlight reel of a punter. I promise you there's one. Matter of fact, I might just do a whole entire show just to piss you off about that freaking punter, dude, and watch a highlight reel and eat some popcorn while we're at it. Just grab
Hey, Grizz, I'm with you on this. I get your point as far as that goes.
Mm-hmm.
But you also have to remember our offensive line sucked. So if we take that running back, he's not going to have the same year he had in Tampa Bay. He had a great offensive mind there, decent quarterback, decent line.
Good point,
the Bears take him with us, and we're already writing him in as a bust.
Hey, Tony, I just want to let you know I just got a bunch of emails for Sox tickets. So if you want to take the fam, let me know. I got a bunch of offers.
All right, we'll talk later.
Yeah, but anyways, guys, listen, we're just busting Jay Grizz's balls because I know he comes at us like this every once in a while. He's pretty good for the most part, but he gets in one of those funks where he just wants to freaking talk about some, and that's okay. I love it. There's going to be some times in the season where that's accepted. Right now, we're riding high, baby. There is absolutely no reason. Name one thing that the Bears haven't done right in this offseason, Tony. Name one thing. Did they go out and get a defensive coordinator? Did they go get an offensive coordinator? Did they go get a head coach? Did they address the offensive line? Did they address the defensive line? If they took all of our freaking draft picks away, we still have improved. We could still compete.
We'll still compete. Absolutely.
Yeah. And dude, make no mistake about it. It's not just we're just taking the field. We're going to compete, bro. We're going to compete. Those guys on the teams, go back and look at what happened, especially with the Falcons. Dude, it's funny. I go look at the top, like Atlanta Falcons chat, just like the Bears chat with Harrison Graham. There's a dude over there that takes care of that for Atlanta. I went and watched him the day after we went and picked up their stud defensive tackle, and we picked up Dahlman. That dude was pissed. He was freaking irate, Tony. It would be like if, Caleb or whoever is your fit, JJ. We are Cole Kmet and JJ. We just overnight, and you're just like, are you freaking kidding me, dude? Are you kidding me right now? Are you kidding me? We let them leave the building. He was pissed, dude. I got to send that to you. But I mean, to watch that, and then Thuney. The Kansas City Chiefs were not happy about getting rid of Thuney, man. They don't have enough money, bro. They do not have enough money. Like, they are strapped to keep that freaking Super Bowl team together. You know what I'm saying, Tony?
Yeah, they got too many superstars. I wish we had that problem. We will, though.
Oh, I see what Jay Grizz is saying. But you know what? I got to read the text. Listen, I cannot control what you text, Jay Grizz. I can only control what is being read by what you text. And what you said was damning. And right now, the Bears are doing pretty darn good, buddy. But I agree. Up until this point, the Chicago sports has been straight bootylicious. And I'll be honest with you. I was not happy that we drafted a punter. But it grew on me, especially when we started showing the highlight reel of this guy and we started talking about him, and then we got to see him out on the field and stuff. And I'm like, oh my God, Tony, he was actually pretty damn good. And then there's guys later on in the season where he brings up Bookie Irving, but I do like the fact that you said it didn't matter without an offensive line. He still wouldn't have been able to run. And I agree with you. Maybe, Tony, let me ask you a question, though. With the speed that Bucky Irving has, do you think a guy like that could have actually ran a little bit better with the offensive line that we had? Do you think like those type of backs can function a little bit better with the lack of solid discipline blocking, or no?
I do. I mean, yeah, I don't want to take anything from a guy, but very well he could have ran better, but I don't think by much. He would not have had the same year. I mean, our offensive line, and let's go right to the middle. I mean, they were flushing out that pocket right away. These guys were getting hit in the backfield. The only time they ever were able to run the ball was to the outside. And we fixed that this year. At least hope we did. And my point basically is that I just sometimes players go to a certain system. A lot of people were upset with us when we didn't take the tackle from the Eagles. Why can't I think of his name now? The big guy.
Yeah, Jalen Carter.
Jalen Carter.
Yeah.
Everybody was upset we didn't take Jalen Carter. I don't think Jalen Carter would have had the same year with the Bears. I mean, because one, he did have an attitude and he was a kind of a punk, and we just weren't in that position yet. I mean, maybe if we were to take him when we're one player away or something, but we aren't, so 2 years ago when he came out, I was not disappointed that we didn't take him.
And we lost our defensive coordinator. And then after that, we lost Eberflus. That with a guy right there with a rocky, adolescence and, early, young adult. The problem with that is you put that in there and you don't have the structure that the Eagles have. He might have been, I think he went to the right place. Let's quit talking about our ex-girlfriend or the girlfriend that we couldn't have had. He's on the right team. He's doing fine. But I agree with Tony wholeheartedly. He would not have been successful over here in the building for sure. And all of these distractions might have really had a toll on him for sure, man. So,
yeah.
What up, Crooked Commish? Joseph, what's up, Joe? He says, don't reach for running back. There are 6 good ones out there. You can get Skattabo or Johnson in the 4th. Listen, I wouldn't mind Skattebo in the 4th at all, bro.
Unfortunately, we don't have a 4th rounder.
Yeah, hey, Tony, that's a good point, man. You're mighty wise there. For sure. That doesn't mean that we're not going to get one. That maybe we trade back and we get a 4th rounder and a 5th rounder. You know how polls cooks. We could end up, if we trade back out of the 1st. But to Tony's point, you are correct, sir. I do like that you brought that up, man. You're making me look good tonight, Tony. So that is a wrap for today's show, guys, of Bears on Tracks. If you missed it, go back, watch the show, leave a comment, hit that like button. Everybody in the building, please hit that like button. How do you guys like my new camera, dude? Or not the new camera, but my new angle. I worked on something. I got a little something for my laptop, Tony, where it raises it up a little bit. So now I've got a better, straight up, eye to eye contact instead of like looking down and stuff. It was a little obnoxious. I finally got it. I think I got it closer dialed in like you do, Tony. And shout out to your background, dude. You look like you're at freaking Hallis Hall right now. What's going on? Where you at, bro? Are you at
I'm in the basement. I'm in the basement behind my bar.
Oh, okay. Awesome, bro. Awesome. So anyways, like I said, remember the draft is right around the corner, guys, and we'll be here to keep you updated with all of the insights and analysts you need. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you'll never miss an episode. And until next time, bear down, guys.
Bear down. Peace out.